Hi, everybody, and welcome to Bullseye as we go inside UB Athletics. I'm Paul Peck from here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh as the UB Bulls traveled to this stadium to take on the Pitt Panthers. They made a lot of good plays, put a pretty good scare in a team from the Big East, battled all the way to the end before eventually losing 35-16. But it's a game that the Bulls could take a lot of positives from, and you'll hear the players and head coach Jeff Quinn talk about those positives coming up later in the show. We'll hear from Bulls senior offensive lineman Matt Ostrowski, who played in front of his friends and family. He's from nearby Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. Also on this week's show, we'll visit with UB women's volleyball coach Todd Kress, who took his team to a second straight MAC quarterfinal appearance last season and is looking for even more this year. We'll also get a chance to talk with UB senior women's soccer player Aubrey Stahl. Talk to her about the 2011 season. We'll run down the top 5 plays of the game here between the Bulls and the Panthers, and we'll have our Karuba collisions of the game. And don't forget, you can vote for your favorite at BuffaloBulls.com. I am joined by Bulls radio color analyst Jim Kubiak. We're going to break down the Bulls-Pitt Panthers game. I'm exhausted after calling 93 plays. You had to analyze 93. It was a pretty amazing, frantic pace in 90-degree weather here. 93 plays on offense. That's a lot of football. And Buffalo did a great job controlling their tempo, and you got to have your hands off to Pittsburgh too. They did a great job with their tempo. So very, very good football game. Buffalo comes up short, but a lot of things to build on. New quarterback Chaz Anderson makes his debut. He was out there for all 93 of those offensive plays. I think you saw maturity, you saw calmness, you saw the ability to bounce back from mistakes. You saw a guy who, as a senior, was in control of this offense. Without question. What great leadership, what great poise. He was accurate. He hit his hot throws. He made the plays that he had to make, and just a great performance. Alex Newts, a career-high 10 catches, continues to be an ever-evolving big target for this offense. Big physical kid from Grand Island. He lines up out there. He's got a big body, and Chaz put some slant routes on him. And, I hope that they continue to do that. The quick passing game was very effective today, and Alex Newts was a big part of it. The defense, I thought, controlled the game for most of the first half. I think Pitt wasn't really sure what to make of the Bulls' defense. Now, that defense started to kind of wear down, made a few mistakes by their own admission in the second half. But I think it's a defense that you can clearly see is strong up front, the pass rush, the ability to stop the run in the front seven. And they had a lot to deal with tonight. They had a high-octane offense that was trying to rip off plays every 15 seconds, and that's very difficult to deal with in this kind of heat. I thought they did a good job. I think the secondary guys stepped up. I think they were good in coverage and tackling, and a couple missed opportunities, but they're not far off the mark. And the most fun guy to watch on that defense has got to be Khalil Mack. All over the place again, tackles for loss, a sack, quarterback pressures, and one of the biggest plays of the game that almost got the Bulls back in this game, that huge strip sack play by Khalil Mack. Sunseri going to throw, but the ball's loose. He's sacked, it's fumbled, and the Bulls have recovered at the 32-yard line. Khalil Mack with the sack attack. So when you come into a game like this as a multiple touchdown underdog and you battle to the end and put a pretty good scare in an upper-level team, what are the positives that the Bulls can take from this game heading into their final 11 games of the season? Well, number one, I think being physical on the line of scrimmage. They put some weight on this offseason, 1,100 pounds they put on this football team, and they were physical with a Big East opponent. Brandon Oliver, outstanding. In protection, north and south. The wide receiver core, very solid with the exception of a couple little mistakes. But I think there's a ton to build on. And this defense, Bill Inge has got this defense lathered up, and I look forward to these MAC opponents. All right, let's get the take from the head coach. Let's check in for the post-game interviews with head coach Jeff Quinn.
We didn't achieve the outcome that we came in here to accomplish, and that's always disappointing. But I think there was a lot of things out there tonight, being on the sidelines, that I really felt I was very proud of the way our kids competed, the way they fought through, that we were able to get some turnovers. We were able to manage the second half better as an offense, and I thought we did a much better job of executing our run game, offensively, and that really made a big difference.
I always tell the coaches I never get tired, so I feel like I had 35 carries, but I feel great. The big boys up front, Oz Can, Dre, Dylan, Graham, Winery, and Ostrowski did a great job opening up holes, and Chaz threw the ball great.
He's got a whole different mindset this year, which is awesome. And then everyone is feeding off his energy and his focus and his determination, and along with Chaz.
When you have players like Bo and Alex Newts and the receivers that we have, I mean, you just got to give them the ball, and that's what I tried to do tonight. TJ played well. Marcus played well. Again, I'm excited. But again, hat goes off to Pitt. They made less mistakes than we did, and they won a football game.
I think the one thing that you see there is that the fact that we can be multiple in a lot of different ways, and with personnel going from fullback and a tight end to 5 wides, 4 wides, shows the type of flexibility and diversity that we have offensively to try to get as many different players on the field, and that's really why we wanted to do it. We want to keep the defense off balance, and you saw our tempo. We were able to get up to the ball. I mean, you saw 2 very high-tempo offenses, which was impressive to see, in a game like tonight. And I think that was one of the nice things in the second half. If you look at it, I really wanted to keep our defense off the field, and try to control a little bit more of the possession of the game. So, but they, let's face it, in the first half, I think they had 4 possessions inside the 50, and they came up with 7 points. I know our defensive coach, Billings, does a great job with those kids, and they hung in there all night. They fought all the way to the end. I mean, even late in the fourth quarter, I mean, they had a huge turnover. That gave us the possession right back.
It's time to get better. We got a new week. We got another game, so just prepare like I had been preparing. And Pittsburgh is a good football team. What I am excited about is how well our defense played. And Bo ran the ball exceptional. And our offensive line did a great job. So I'm excited about next week and moving forward.
It's always tough to lose a game and then, look at all these other areas because I know our kids fought hard, and we're not going to have any loser talk. We're not going to hang our heads. We're going to keep building and learning from this experience, and then I think we have a very good football team.